victory for Raidable Crest Titans.
Last time out in the Britpart Pioneer All-Wheel Drive Championship, we saw the fight go down to the wire in Minehead, with Bruce Mallet and Chris Cumming battling it out and trading places before Cumming eventually got out on top and took the win on the final run of the day. It doesn't come much closer than that. With the next round unfortunately cancelled, it would be a longer than usual wait before our crews gathered once again at Kirton in Lincolnshire, a dedicated off-road centre and a new course for many of the all-wheel drive championship crews, who would be joined this time by the Northern Off-Road Championship contenders. A combined and therefore eclectic field lines up then for the first runs of the day, and it would be the early lead for this man, Steve Hill, opening up a small 5-second lead after the morning's first 3 runs. Things had not gotten off to the best of starts for round 2 winners Chris Cumming and Fraser Parrish though. The tear-off covers on the goggles not working, meaning it was difficult to see where they were going. The problem would be made worse with an engine that wasn't running properly either on the first run of the day, leaving them in a chasing position and surely despondent this early on. It would be worse though for their rivals from the previous round, Bruce Mallet, with Mike Bakewell alongside. They'd be having problems with their car as well. A maximum on the second run of the day would put them out of contention for the event. Never mind those problems though, it would have been a great start to the event for Jasmine Philpott, running up in 3rd place after the first 2 runs of the day. However, that was about as far as she would get, retiring from that podium place. So much attrition and notable names too early on. Taking up that vacated 3rd place would be Ben Gill, not looking at the times, just doing his own thing, and it was working, extending a good advantage in that position as well. All that drama out in front, just outside the podium places, it will be 4th for Bruce Tidwell. The times were coming down as the morning went on, but there would be still a way to catch up those podium positions ahead. Lincolnshire was a fair old trek for most of our AWDC crews, Daryl Hardy and Marianne Cannon included, but they make a great start to line 5th place on the leaderboard, leading Class 6 with that position. No problems to report for Dean Hoskins and Tim Longfield. They were enjoying the course here at Kirton and end the morning with 2nd place in Class 6 behind Hardy. And it was close as well, only a single second between them in that class fight. Jim Canterbury will be joined by Mark Wood this weekend when wife and regular navigator Jenny couldn't make it. They were off to a flying start as well, 3rd in the class, themselves only a handful of seconds off the lead as well. In Class 7, meanwhile, it will be the early lead for Paul and Joe Middlemiss, and it would be a strong advantage as well in the class after run 3. More strife further down the leaderboard. Things were not going to plan for Graham Smith and Steph Lawton. The throttle pedal jamming shut on the first run, forcing them to get out of the car midway through the course and fix it. They did get things going again, but forgot to secure the bonnet and would have to pull over for it to be closed. They do still lying 9th overall, a frustrating 9th, no doubt. It could have been higher without those problems. And rounding out the top 10 will be Andrew and Craig Mitchell, 2nd in Class 7 for the pair as well at this stage. Philippa and James Tennant were having a mixed day, a bit of drama when they put the car on its side on run 3 after setting some good times early on. James had climbed out of the car before seeing that help was on the way, and the car was soon back on its wheels before James was. Philippa continuing to the end of the run without a co-driver to minimise the time loss and end the morning with 13th overall, 2nd in Class 5. As far as we know, James is still on his way back. This weekend will be the 2nd outing on 4 wheels for Jerry Allen and Tim Wood, having previously raced on 2 wheels. It was taking some getting used to as well, having someone else calling the notes for a start. Hey, what are you doing there? Doesn't happen on a motorbike, does it? But things were going well. 3rd in class, 15th overall. With a retirement earlier on in the event, it would leave just one crew in Class 1. Andy Kent and James Withers would be leading the way there then from 17th overall. But as we've seen from the drama and attrition so far on the leaderboard, to finish first, you do have to finish. So we're 3 runs in then. Here's a reminder of how those overall leaderboards are shaping up here at the 3rd round of the Britpart Pioneer All-Wheel Drive Championship at Kirton in Lincolnshire. For those crews still running then, we'll head out onto the next few runs of the event, and we'd see some change at the top of our leaderboard as well. With all of the problems now sorted for Chris Cumming and Fraser Parrish, there would be some good times being posted. They were back on it, the pair moving up to take the lead, now with 25 seconds of an advantage, having overhauled that position.
Yeah, just got a comfortable pace. We had a really bad first lap, so my goggles ran out of tear-offs and I couldn't see where I went, and I hit big water. Then the car just died afterwards and we just limped our way home. But ever since then, we're comfortable pace and it's all good.
That change in the lead, of course, means that Steve Hill was stepped down to 2nd place. The time's still good though. He wasn't going to be complaining about 2nd place if the leaderboard ended like this, but would a push still be on the cards? We'd hope so.
It's good, it's getting very rough. But yeah, all good.
Yeah, how the car's going?
Yeah, very well. We fixed some new suspension a couple of events ago. So we fine-tuned it at the British last weekend, and it seems to be doing really well.
There's no change in 3rd place though. Ben Gill continuing to hold on to that final step on the podium now. 2nd in Class 9 if he can hold it.
Alright, it's just a bit rough, innit? That's all. I don't know what place I'm in or anything. I can't really tell you how interesting, I'm afraid.
Everything all right with the car?
Yeah, it's overheating shockers a little bit. It's just a little bit rough for it. So go back, cool them down with a bit of water and go again.
And there'll be no change for Bruce Tickwell either. 4th place overall, 3rd in the class, just outside our podium positions on the overall leaderboard.
Alright, yes, it's very hard, very rough. Just got to go with the flow and don't get too excited.
And there'd be a few places gained on that leaderboard for Paul and Joe Middlemiss. They move up to 5th. They still maintain the Class 7 lead as well. Some good pace at this stage.
Yeah, spot on to be fair. Just get used to the car. It's my first run out this weekend, so yeah, slowly picking the pace up, but yeah.
How the car's going?
Yeah, just a bit of a misfire occasionally to be fair. Leeds didn't just quite come in time to get them fitted before this weekend, but hopefully it'll get towards the end of the day.
There'd be frustration with fuel supply issues forcing Dean Hoskins and Tim Longfield out of our top 10 leaderboard, forcing them to pull over and calling it a day on run 4 of the event. Darryl Hardy and Marianne Cannon would slip down a position on the results during these runs, but their times were still keeping them in the lead of Class 6, a reasonably safe margin. Perhaps they were playing the strategic game. Closest to them on the results though, and certainly trying to work out what kind of a game they were playing, would be Jim Canterbury and Mark Wood. They continue to hold on to that 2nd place. Not doing anything silly this weekend, they were just looking to ensure a good finish for those championship points. It's all about that tally.
Yeah, it's alright, it's rough out there, it's definitely not getting any smoother. I think we found our fast times and that's it, we're just going to maintain now. 2 more runs to go, see if we can keep it going.
Andrew and Craig Mitchell climb a couple of positions on the leaderboard into 8th place now. They wouldn't be catching the class lead yet though, still holding on to 2nd place in Class 7 for now. And after their earlier problems, things were now going much smoother for Philippa and James Tennant. They were putting in some good times, lying in 9th place overall. Without the time lost, with that roll, they would surely have been a place or 2 higher up those overall results. No point dwelling on it though, I'm sure they already have.
Yeah, we're having a good time. I mean, we've lain on our side once, just going super slow, really unfortunate. But otherwise, really enjoying it, and we only lost 3 minutes on that lap because we were lucky with where our marshal was. So yeah, good fun, getting rough, but yeah, enjoying.
And rounding out our top 10 now with Jerry Allen and Tim Wood. The thick mud out there on the wet sections of the course starting to clog everything up, needing to be scraped off after each run to keep the weight down. Don't you just love the smell of hot mud on exhaust?
Fantastic. Getting the speed up. It's only the second time I've ever raced, so I'm getting the speed up now. I'm going from very slow to pretty damn slow.
Margaret Bakewell and Trish Bradley would be lucky to be here this weekend. The team broke down on their way to the venue, and sadly their truck, which had husband Mike's car inside, had to be towed home. Thankfully for Margaret, the scrutineer had seen them stranded and offered to tow their car to the event to allow them to compete. They end the morning with 15th overall, and surely we should award that scrutineer spirit of the event.
A few mishaps. My poor old bumper aborted again, but apart from that, it's a very good course. Proper off-road course. It's rough out there now.
With just themselves left in the Class 1 battle, it will be a race against the conditions for Andy Kent and James Withers, and what conditions they were. They were keeping it going though, reaching this stage in the event with 16th place. A puncture earlier in the event had set the scene, shall we say, and caused some lost time early on for Graham Smith and Steph Lawton. But it would be a stone jammed in the gear selector that would really do the damage to their weekend. They'd eventually retire the car before the final runs. The damage to the overall result had been done, but the times when things were going right were promising. You've got to take the positives where you can take them, right?
Not too good. A few mechanical issues. We've just got no gears now. We're stuck in second, so we've got a max for that one. But done a few good times, 2 or 3 pretty good times. I think we'd be up there for the win, but not today with the mechanicals.
So we've got just 2 runs remaining here at Kirton. Here's a reminder of that overall leaderboard. Wow, a grueling and muddy event then here in Lincolnshire. On to the final runs of the event. And a couple of maximum times would see Jerry Allen and Tim Wood unable to gain any more space on that results sheet. But they were happy with how things were going up to that point. Andy Kent and James Withers managed to get to the finish in one piece, which is remarkable given the conditions and the rest of the attrition around the place this weekend, which of course means the Class 1 win was theirs. A good solid end to the event for the pair. Damage limitation at its maximum. It would be a good strong finish as well for Margaret Bakewell and Trish Bradley. Plenty more seat time for the pair, and a course that they really enjoyed. It suited them and the car down to the ground. They end the event 13th place overall. Things had gone swimmingly for Ed Barnes and Alex Freeman on only their second event. The times were getting better as the day went on as well, 12th place overall. On to the top 10 then, and for those in it, it must have felt like a mission to even be here and be in the fight, but what a fight it had been. It would be Robert Christmas and Sam Snowden moving up to take that 10th spot. A misfire right from the start of the event was far from ideal, but they managed to get the car through to the finish to take that position, and with it, 3rd in Class 6. Philippa and James Tennant might have been a little further down the leaderboard than we would have expected, but they were happy to have got all of the runs in and no maximum times despite their problems, ending this round 2nd in Class 5, 9th overall. There would, though, be problems for Ben Gill, taking a maximum in the penultimate run of the day. Enough lost time to slip down from that final step on the podium into 8th place overall and 3rd in the class. For Andrew and Craig Mitchell, it will be 7th place overall, gaining a position with the loss of Ben Gill, but with no change in the class, still holding on to 2nd in Class 7 by the finish. Meanwhile, it was job done for Jim Canterbury and Mark Wood this weekend. They just needed a good finish for some good championship points, and they got both of those, ending the day 6th place on the leaderboard, 2nd in Class 6. It was a good run as well for Daryl Hardy and Marianne Cannon at the end of the day, taking the Class 6 victory, a strong end to the event to take 5th place overall as well. Quietly minding their own business and plugging away, Paul and Joe Middlemist continued their climb up the leaderboard, eventually ending the event 4th place overall and taking the Class 7 victory in the process. Impressive. We're on to the podium places now then, and it will be 3rd for Bruce Tigwell. A fantastic result for the championship as well, with that 2nd place in Class 9 on the event, but highest championship contender in that class. And the winner of that class would be this man, Steve Hill, maintaining that 2nd overall throughout the afternoon to end the event with that position and the Class 9 win, crucially for him. But taking victory this weekend will be Chris Cumming and Fraser Parrish. The very long trip up from Cornwall paying off. The pair make it 2 wins from 3 now in the championship, and things were looking good, you have to say. A grueling event then, the likes of which you would expect from this championship. Next up, the series heads south again to Ilfracombe. A very different event for the crews and a different challenge. It's sure to be entertaining as well from the sidelines, and we will of course be there to bring you all of the action from on the sidelines and behind the wheel. Thank you for watching.
Yes, yeah, well pleased. Good to be racing with Nork as well. Didn't know who the competition would be really, but yeah, we had a really bad first lap, but the rest of the day's been under control and really good.
Yes, yeah, chuffed to bits. So I've never had a overall position, first, second, third ever. So happy, and had to put a spanner on the car. So yeah, really happy. And I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's been involved and all the marshals for putting on a good day.
Care 40 for Rateable Crest Titans.